Hey, y'all, welcome to a disc golf podcast by Good Line Disc Golf. It's going to be a weekly podcast where we talk about all things disc golf, but it's off season, so there's not a whole lot of things going on, except for it is the most exciting part of the off season where things move around and all this stuff. I'm Philip anyway, and this is Brendon.
What's up, guys? How's it going?
We're going to talk about a lot of stuff here, so thanks for hanging out with us. Our first podcast. Hopefully we can keep this thing going and talk about all things disc golf as the season progresses. Brendon, I got a question for you.
Okay.
You know, whenever someone comes to you and they're like, I've got good news and I've got bad news, which one do you want first? What do you always pick? What do you pick?
The good news.
You pick the good news first.
Yeah.
Of course you pick. I knew this was going to happen. I knew when I asked you if I was going to pick.
Sorry.
Why?
I don't know, because I'd rather be happy.
First and then
yeah.
And then devastating news
And then I can be like, the bad news, it doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't matter anymore.
The good news
happy
is
now.
I got a piece of candy. The bad news is your dog died.
Oh, that's a little worse.
Okay,
It
sorry.
depends on how bad the news is.
Anyway, I always pick good news last. I pick bad news first. So we're going to start with the bad stuff today. I don't care what you think. We're going to start with the bad stuff. So over this last season, I feel like there's a lot of companies that kind of did themselves a disservice with their public perception. And so I guess my question is, who do you think has the worst public perception in all of the like brands of disc golf, and why?
I think right now, or like over this past season, Prodigy got a really bad rap.
Yeah.
Because of, like, I started a year ago, and like coming into this, I started out with Prodigy discs. They were great. They were from last year.
Yeah.
I went to buy some more. They sliced my hand open. Like,
My gosh.
not really, but you know what I mean.
It's like the flashing.
The flashing. That's what I
The
mean.
return of the flashing.
But yeah, and then like just the whole thing with Gannon Burr.
Yeah.
And then and I'll get more into that later. But yeah, just everything they did to him. You know, I can't really pick anybody else.
Yeah, so like I knew that when I asked this question, I feel like this is like the first thing people think of, like Prodigy and the thing with Gannon Burr and their disc flat. I really like that was all the things, and honestly that was on the top of my list. But when I really thought about it, I really things have changed for me personally. And it's just the last couple of weeks for me personally. Dynamic actually is like on the top of my list of like people that I'm like not cool with right now. I'm like, how dare you do that?
I think I know why.
Yeah, so it's because of the Macy Veladiaz thing, but Lone Star I feel like it's a lot like on a lot of people's list because of their pricing stuff with the base plastic disc and
Let's get everybody on the team and then jack up our prices super high.
yeah, exactly. And also and then which is
It's a business model.
It worked, I guess, because there's still people on Team Lone Star in there. Like they got diehard people. That's cool. It seems like they're losing people left and right now from their pro team, which I don't think actually, honestly, I don't think is actually happening. When you look around and see all the other big companies, they're all losing people and they're all switching around.
Oh, everybody's moving.
Right, but Lone Star only had their handful of people that they really pushed. And I feel like they lost half of them. So it looks bigger. It looks bigger.
They're losing the people that were selling discs for them, really.
Yeah, I mean, outside perspective, looking in, it was like, oh man, Lone Star's here to make a splash. 1 year later, that all their half their players are gone.
But what's really interesting, I don't know if like you noticed this, but like when you go and look at their team page, like they actually like talk more about their Ranger team than they do about like their pros and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, these are the people that you're going to talk to, and these are the people that are like going to sell you the discs and that kind of stuff. So it's, I don't know, it kind of seems like that's what they want to do.
Yeah,
so.
They're making a pivot towards the like AM instead of the pro. I've seen that being a thing, and then Innova, and this is just a common thing with Innova. They don't pay players, right? Like they don't pay players. And I think they've just kind of been like, we're Innova, this is what we do. But then on top of that, this season, this wrap up, this off season, Emerson Keith, left Lone Star like we just talked about.
Yeah.
Moved to Innova.
Yeah.
And then Innova announced it before he could announce it.
Yeah.
And just put him on the second tier team. Like I feel like it's a slap in the face.
Not only that, but have you seen the picture they used?
Yeah.
It's like some random picture of him throwing. It's like everybody else's looks super nice, super good headshot, like all that kind of stuff. And then his is just like
Emerson Keith.
Hey guys. I'm on the end of a team.
This
now.
guy plays disc golf. Hey, I mean, and honestly, it's no like slight to be on the champion team, but Emerson won last year.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. I mean, it does feel like a slight.
I mean, to me, I thought I can't believe they didn't put him on the star team, but it is what it is. So your vote would be Prodigy. Like you're like out of all these things, Prodigy.
The funny thing is, like, I took some notes earlier, and everything that you said, I wrote down. Like, that's literally what I have on my list, too.
Interesting.
So, but yes, out of all of those, Prodigy to me, and it could be because I started with Prodigy. Like, I started with those discs, and I was like, these are really awesome for me as a beginner. And then I go to find something else, and I can't find anything.
Sure.
Oh,
yeah.
One thing I did forget to mention that I kind of looked up when I was trying to do some research online is, I don't know if you know, but the feedback came out while the whole thing with Gannon Burr was going on.
Yeah.
And so, like, think about that name and the feedback they were getting at the time.
Ironic.
Terrible idea.
Let's hear your feedback. No, never mind.
No,
never mind.
Don't talk about the feedback.
I don't want to hear what you got. Yeah. My thing's dynamic disc. I think they really fumbled the ball here with Macy Veladiaz. So if you're listening to it and you don't know, Macy Veladiaz was on Team Dynamic Disc. She's been on there for a while. She's been really one of their premier players. There's a lot of locals here actually that really like the Fluid Justice that came out with her signature on it.
Just got one.
Yeah, really awesome disc. I've enjoyed throwing it, or at least like feeling how like soft
gummy it is.
Gummy, yeah. And she, I guess for some reason or another, went to the team and said, hey, my husband and I are having a child, we're having a baby, and I'm not going to be able to tour full time, but I'm still going to do what I can. I'm talking with my doctor to figure this out. And Dynamic said, you know what, actually, let's take back the offer that we gave her, the full-time offer that we gave her, and give her like a halftime type offer.
Yeah. And I read something too, like they didn't even offer, according to her, like we don't know the numbers or whatever.
Sure.
But apparently they didn't offer her, a good deal before they found out that she was pregnant. I don't know if you saw that too.
Yeah, I did read that. And so that's really frustrating to me, and maybe I'm just biased. I've got a child on the way, and my wife's working. It sounds like our neighbors next door are like trying to tear a wall down, and that's okay. We'll just keep going. And if you hear some thuds, you know that it's not us, it's our neighbors. But anyway, man, so Macy's pregnant. She can't play. You can't play disc golf while you're super pregnant, and you also can't play disc golf postpartum. Like you just can't, not initially, immediately postpartum. Like WNBA, like when they get pregnant, they can leave, have their baby, and then when they're healthy again, they come back. And they play, and they don't lose their contract.
Right.
Like, what if she didn't tell them? Like, what if she wouldn't have told them that about the contract? I guess she wouldn't have been able to fill the contractual obligations.
Yeah, and that would have been way worse, I feel like.
Yeah.
The only reason I didn't pick this one is what I mentioned earlier is we don't know the money.
Yeah.
The money amount, but from her side of it, she said it's not enough that she can tour on. So,
sure.
I mean, you're going to have a baby. You've got to spend money other places anyway.
Yeah.
Like, I completely get it. Like, that was in my top 3. So,
yeah. It's just shout out, kudos to Cardinal Disc Golf for picking her up. And I'm sure, that's a retailer, that's a store. So she'll be able to pick up a manufacturer deal as well. Hopefully someone swoops in and gets a really quality player. I mean, Macy, I feel like we're Tennessee, and every time she shows up to Tennessee, she's like shredding over here. So
yeah.
I mean, I watch her play like.
Well, dude, she's just fun to watch.
Absolutely. No, you're good. I absolutely agree.
She's just one of the fun FPO players to watch. Not saying like other people aren't fun.
Sure.
You know what I mean? But she's just like, she's actually exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So.
Yes. So we'll keep a lookout and see who ends up picking her up, if anyone picks her up at all, and we'll find out. So let's move on to our next topic here. Talking about contracts. Her contract is been cut. She doesn't have a contract anymore with Dynamic. Let's look at MVP and their new contract. So I feel like the one brand that's like winning this offseason is like this all season is MVP.
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, like, me, like when I couldn't find those Prodigy discs, I went full MVP.
All
I was
in.
like, I mean,
All
you
in.
knew. So it's like seeing that now. It's kind of funny because like I'm trying to start kind of being that guy who finds other discs to throw, and now I'm seeing MVP do all this stuff in the off season. I'm like, man, I kind of want to put all those discs back in my bag. Like,
yeah. They're signing what they got. Paul Kranz. How do you say his name? Oh gosh, Paul Kranz.
Kranz?
I think it's Kranz. The Rookie of the Year, Disc Golf's Rookie of the Year, MPO's Rookie of the Year last year. So they swept in and got him. They swept in and got the Disc Golf Pro Tour FPO Player of the Year. I got her name right here, Sylvia Saarinen. Two rookies of the year, not players of the year. Two rookies of the year.
Yes.
Not players of the year, but rookie. And so now they've got the two rookies of the year. I want to know what those contracts look like. Are they poaching these players? How do you feel about this?
The only thing I could like really look at is they just signed them for a year.
Okay.
And so like I'm really confused by that because one, MVP made a lot of money this past year.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
We all know that.
Mm-hmm.
But you're looking at these rookies, and you're like, they're placing a bet that they're going to keep doing well. You know what I mean? So like when you pull them, they're going to have to get a whole new bag with MVP stuff. So they're going to have to figure that out. So I think it's kind of so that MVP can be like, okay, well, they can do that with what they were throwing.
Yeah, sure.
But can they do that? Are they going to be able to convert to what we have and do the same thing?
It's kind of they're just 1 year contracts.
It may be different, but everything that I looked up, that's all
1 year.
fun.
Wow. Okay. So that actually makes me feel a little better about them being a 1 year contract because I feel like if they're both the rookie of the year and MVP was like, look, let's get these guys a 4 year contract right now, lock them in at a low price. And I mean, I feel like the contract was most likely competitive, right? So do you think MVP's like contract offers beat any other contract offers they got, or do you think just the allure of MVP right now, since they're winning the offseason, Simon's there, it's possible other people are going to be there. These rookies probably know.
I don't know if we can talk about
these
that
rookies
yet,
probably know what's going on. Somebody call Paul, see if he knows.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I feel like you said, Simon went to MVP.
Yeah.
Like everybody loves Simon, right? And then
does everybody love Simon?
Well, okay.
Put it in the comments if you do, because
okay. he has a way to throw named after him, the Simon line.
Yeah, sure, absolutely.
Yeah, but no, for real, like the hype that they had last year, I think, and then you take those two the rookie MVPs, and it's like, okay, we get a chance to sign with this huge company that's making all this money and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Right? Like you want to be on that team.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're poised to make the run right now to be. I mean, they were the in my opinion in our shop in Goodline Disc Golf, the highest selling disc this year. I mean, people were really like clamoring. I can't keep it stocked.
Yeah.
And a couple years ago, that wasn't the case. Where MVP was, okay, this is cool, this is interesting, this is different, and now it's like, this is the leading technology.
Shout out to the
golf.
Wave.
But yeah, so I could see that. I mean, if I'm a rookie and I've got offers on the table and I MVP is one of them right now, I think I'm jumping on board.
Yeah, 100%.
So MVP, hit me up. The 935 rated player down here in Shelbyville, Tennessee, hit me up.
Well, real quick, like you mentioned, like, was it competitive? Of course it was competitive.
Yeah.
Right? Because, like, again, MVP made the money.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? So they have the money to spend this year.
Yeah. Do they have the money to spend on the big?
I don't know yet.
Are they going to get the prized possession of Eagle, right? Speaking of MVP, I enjoy most of their pros. I don't know if you and I together tried to find it because I sent you, hey, look at this video, Sarah Hokum's little Zuka video that she did a couple days ago. I'm gonna try to play it on here, and if I can't, we'll just keep talking through it. But basically, I'm gonna just describe it to you right here. So there's this Lamborghini video where there's this lady in a dress, and she's like tapping on the hood of the car, yeah, and saying Lamborghini. And touching different parts of the Lamborghini and looking at the camera, Lamborghini. And Sarah Hokum spliced herself in there and did her Zuka cart.
Let's be honest though, Sarah Hokum's Zuka cart is like a Lamborghini now.
I mean, hey,
like that new one
color,
she's got,
the
dude,
purple one,
it's
yeah,
purple and blue. Like, it changes. Gorgeous.
It is awesome. I gotta give it to Sarah Hokum. She finds a way to stay relevant, fun. She's on top of the issues in the sport. She's always there. And then she's always placing, and like she's staying relevant. She's always in the top 10 somewhere. Like when you watch her play, she's always in the top 10. Her name always pops up in some case, and she's throwing forehand. I actually, contrary to popular belief, I actually enjoy her forehand, like watching her because I can see the mechanics, like what she's trying to do. I don't think Brendon is the same in this.
I mean, I'm not really a forehand guy. Like, you throw a lot of forehands. Don't shake your head. You do.
Okay, yeah.
But like, I don't know. Forehand players, not as much for me.
Yeah.
Right.
She's like, oh, is she throwing that forward facing? Heck no. Nuh-uh, that's witchcraft. You get that out of here.
I mean, I played baseball. I threw a bunch of forehands. I messed up my finger. I can't throw forehands anymore.
You messed up your finger?
I did. I messed up my finger throwing forehands. I don't know.
Baseball?
It was in disc golf.
Oh, in disc golf. Okay,
Yeah,
you
in
said
disc golf.
baseball. Okay.
No. I used to play baseball, so I loved throwing forehands when I first started.
Yeah.
And I don't know what I did. Twisted my middle finger. It didn't work for a while. I couldn't throw forehands, and so I don't like them anymore.
Okay. Well, you should revisit them again. Get reacquainted with forehands.
Sounds good.
All right. So we got players moving around this off season, and there's all kinds of different ones. And let's just talk about one we've already talked about. Where do you think Macy Valadiaz ends up going? Do you think she goes somewhere? And if she does, what do you?
Honestly, this year I don't know. With her already saying like she doesn't want to play a whole lot, which I understand. Yeah. Right. I mean, you're having a baby, like we said, but I don't see her picking up a manufacturer this year.
Well, but if you did, so you're saying,
but you're going.
No.
Okay.
You're saying if you're saying none.
I'm saying none.
Okay, no manufacturer
this year.
We're putting these down on paper right now so that we can rub it in each other's face later. No manufacturer this year for Macy.
I just put a question mark.
Brendon says no. I say so. It's not going to be any of the House of Disc brands, and that's like all of the disc now. I could see Innova like coming in and picking her up for a little. It'd be weird to have for her to have an offer more than Dynamic Disc is willing to pay from Innova. But I'm gonna put Innova down. I'm gonna put Innova down as mine. It's probably might be crazy. See that. We'll see. I don't know if the Innova even like does contracts in the middle of the year like this.
Yeah.
But I'm going to just go out on a limb and say Innova. All right, Chris Clemens. Where's the Clemonade going? That's crazy to me that Chris Clemens announced that he's leaving Dynamic. He's been there like the whole time that I've been playing disc golf. It seems like that dude's been around with the luscious hair and the forehands. You don't watch him because he throws forehands, so you're like, I can't even look at this guy. But
I'm going to be honest with you. I could not remember who Chris Clemens was whenever I first looked.
Oh, my gosh.
I was like,
sorry, Chris. I know you're not watching this, but sorry.
I'm so sorry for anybody that loves Chris Clemens. But no,
okay, so
I remembered who he was after I looked. So my thing is, he's leaving Dynamic Discs, right?
Yeah.
But is he leaving House of Discs?
I don't know. So it's interesting to me because House of Disc has said, they've come out and said that they have no interest in moving players around inside of their within the House of Disc family.
Okay, so that's what I thought too.
They did say that, but listen, they also disproved that. With there's a player who did it. I'm looking for him right now. I got him written down. Somebody moved to Castoplast from Discmania. Yeah, so Braden Sides. And the only reason I left him on the list of, because not a lot of people know who Braden Sides is. The only reason I left him on the list of people who were moving is that he left Discmania.
Because he did move.
And he went to Castoplast, which is inside. Both of those are House of Disc. So that's counterfactual. That's counterfactual to what's already been said.
I don't know. I just, like, to me, I like Latitude now. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm riding the bandwagon.
Okay.
I'm going to be honest. So that was kind of my thing is, like, do you think he might slide over?
So you think Chris Clemens to Lat? I doubt that highly. He's not European.
No.
But it would be, I mean, if he did, that'd be crazy.
But there's other non-Europeans on that.
I know, but it seems like they're clearing they're all their American players from Lat. But you already
maybe
wrote it.
Pick up another one.
I put it. I put it down. Yeah, maybe they will. I'm gonna say he has like this. He has the vibe of like of Infinite and Thought Space. They've already announced players that they've added, so I don't think that they're gonna do it.
That's why I didn't put them.
But let's go. Man, gosh, this is tough. I'm gonna go Discraft, I guess.
Put somebody random.
I have that coming later.
Okay.
Discraft for Chris Clemens. All right, Nicholas Antela. Again, I put on here that House of Disc said they were not moving people around, and a lot of people were saying, since he's leaving, maybe he's in Discmania, maybe he'll slide over to Latitude 64 or something like that. But maybe they will. Maybe they will.
So what's your pick on him first? Since I went first.
Yeah, you're right. We need to trade this back and forth. My pick on Nicholas Antela is Prodigy.
Bro, no way. That's the same thing I wrote down.
All right, we're going both Antela to Prodigy. All right, so Chandler Kramer, to me, he's like one of the faces of Discraft, and yeah.
So
the Chanimal.
I went through his Instagram.
Ooh.
And I noticed
Look at you, Sleuther,
okay.
Super Sleuther.
So I noticed that Infinite has started liking some of his pictures.
Okay.
So that was my choice.
Open bag?
Yeah.
To Infinite?
Open bag.
All right. Brendon to Infinite. Brendon says he goes to Infinite. I'm going to say...
Which I know we just said.
They already announced their team.
They already announced their team, but
they're doing some stuff. MVP's already announced their team, but they look like they're announcing something else on their Instagram. So they can do whatever they want to. They just start putting things out. I'm not gonna go Infinite because I was just gonna make some make some stuff up on the spot.
Okay.
And I was gonna go Infinite, and then you said it. So Chandler Kramer goes to Lone Star. Wait, he just left Lone Star.
He just left Lone
My
Star.
bad.
That's why I was like, wait a second. What?
I said the Chanimal.
From Lone Star back
From Lone Star back to Lone Star. Chandler Kramer goes to Innova.
Okay.
Innova, boom.
I mean, it's kind of.
I was in my head. Another person that I had someone else in my head. I was not thinking of Chandler Kramer, but anyway. All right, Lisa Fakis. She left Lone Star.
Discmania.
Oh, I can see that. Wait. I get to go first.
Oh, my bad. No, wait. I went. You. Whatever.
Wait, did you go first last time?
I don't know. I went first this
time.
time.
Yeah, you went.
You can go first next time.
Lisa Fakis, Discmania. I think that's a good. What makes you think that?
I'm going to be honest. I don't know. I just kind of threw it out there.
Mm-hmm. That's how I was going to just kind of go gut as well. Lisa Fakis, she has been with Innova in the past, has she not? And Lone Star, she's mint. I'm going to go mint with Lisa Fakis.
Okay.
Just because I'm going.
Just because you want to pick something.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, Gavin Rathbun.
Okay. So, again, I did some sleuthing.
Okay. Wait, I get to go first.
Oh, wait. My bad. Sorry.
You did some sleuthing.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I did not do the
you.
sleuthing that Brendon did. So his answer is going to be way better than my answer. But we got Gavin Rathbun. He left Discmania, correct? Prodigy. I think he's a Prodigy guy. He just sounds like a Prodigy guy. All right, go ahead.
I think he's going to take a break.
Really?
Yeah, just from some stuff I've been looking at, and I don't know, burnout seems like a thing.
Okay.
And it just some of the stuff he said, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Ooh.
I don't really see what's happening. I don't know what next year holds.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of like, okay, he seems kind of down with some of the stuff he's been posting, and he loves disc golf. He still said I still love disc golf.
Yeah.
But I don't know what next year is going to hold for me. Is kind of what he said.
Huh.
So I just kind of think he's going to take a break and just kind of get his head together and then try for the next time.
I feel like when I put this list together, I was like, I want to say some good stuff. Brendon has done some sleuthing, and I appreciate it. All right, now here's the three big ones that I really want to know, and this one actually probably is out of my three is my favorite player. I understand that he is the least not as high on the list for some people as others, but this dude's my favorite player of these three, and it's Alden Harris. Where's the hair going?
Discmania.
You think Discmania?
Discmania.
Just like easy.
I can't tell you why yet, but that's my choice.
You can't tell me why.
I can't tell you
yet.
why yet. I'll tell you next.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll tell you in a second.
That's your choice.
I'll tell you in a second.
All right. Well, he says Discmania. I was also going to say Discmania, so I'm just going to roll with Discmania there. Discmania, like, I'm so confused about House of Disc. I think that all of these discs being under one house and one house, under one roof, and having all like the same plastics that they're mixing up and doing different things, I think it's going to do a disservice to Castoplast for sure. And and I feel the same way about Discmania. And look, listen, Discmania, they're still making really good stuff. I see it all the time. I get to feel, I get to touch it because I own the shop here, and no, not to flex or anything. But their stuff is still good, but it's just way different than it was before when it was under Innova. So now they've got their stuff, and I just feel like Discmania and Castoplast are the ones that are kind of suffering right now from being under House of Disc.
I don't think it has to do with House of Disc. I think they got a little too big for their britches whenever they like
jump ship from Innova.
Well, so they've had Eagle, right?
Right.
For forever.
Yeah.
Like Eagle was the face of Discmania, which we'll get to that in a minute.
For sure.
But like they're like, oh, Eagle, everybody loves Eagle. Let's jack up all our prices. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. And it's all been based around him. And we already talked about it. Like he's leaving.
Yeah.
They're like, what now? Right? So, yes, in a way, like House of Disc I feel like kind of hurts them a little bit. But also, they've said the whole time, like, us being under House of Disc isn't really going to change how we do things, which I don't think it has, honestly.
They've been under House of Disc since they jumped ship from Innova, though.
Yeah.
And, I don't think we all knew that. I think that
oh, I didn't know that. Actually, I didn't know that.
That European, C line that they did is just Fusion. No, not Fusion. It was just Lucid, like a type of Lucid plastic. And so I didn't realize that either at first, but going back, they've been under House of Disc since they left Innova. It's just been not as known of a thing.
Well, now I feel dumb.
No, it's okay.
No.
It's okay. So I think I agree with you to an extent, but I just maybe they'll prove me wrong, and maybe their oversell C's, their European C's and sales, their European sales are awesome. But here I've just kind of noticed a drop off for two reasons: the plastic's different, and the prices are a little bit higher than other brands.
For the plastic that they put out, is what I'm saying.
I think that their plastic is really good. I'm going to say that over and over again, but it's just different, and I think people don't necessarily know how to deal with
They really like their gummy feel.
Yeah, absolutely. I literally throw Cloudbreaker 2s and Cloudbreaker and have a Cloudbreaker in my bag, and I like them. I swear that they're different and better than the DD3s now. But I mean, it's essentially the same. It's just the plastic's different, and so and the mold is different. I'll give it that. But the plastic is, for me, whenever I'm throwing the different, I'm like, man, this feels way different.
I will say the stamp's way cooler.
The new stamps.
Oh, all of them.
Oh, all the
okay. All the Cloudbreakers.
I disagree. I like the Cloudbreaker 2 stamp the best. Cloudbreaker 3 was cool, but Cloudbreaker 2 is my favorite stamp. Cloudbreaker 1 pretty simple, but anyway.
The new one's sick. I don't know if you've seen it yet.
I got to looking at it and I was looking through the vault discs on Discmania's page, and they were $70 for a Cloudbreaker 2. I almost did it. And then I was like, I don't need these discs. But I almost did it. And I was like, because these things go for like $100 used.
Yeah.
They're talking about new stuff. But yeah, I went and looked, and it does look cool. I'll give you that. And the Horizon Cloudbreaker,
oh yeah,
they were awesome. Very stupid overstable for me, but they were awesome.
Don't you guys still have some?
We have a couple, yeah. We do
Just
have a couple. I think some people
plug.
Come check it out at the shop, or go to the website goodlinediscgolf.com. That's our ad read right there, goodlinediscgolf.com. We are sponsored by ourselves at the moment, but if you would like to sponsor a podcast, I understand this is our first one and you have no reason to sponsor us just yet, but just wait till we're 50, 80, 100 episodes in, and you will have a great place to have a sponsor and an ad read. Anyway, yeah, so you think Alden, where do you think he's going? Discmania, right?
Discmania, yeah.
I'm with you there. Discmania. And so the next person, do you think Gannon's going there as well?
Discmania.
Oh, why do you think that?
Dude, I mean, if they get the chance, I honestly feel like whoever picked up Gannon's like, hey man, can I bring my buddy Alden with me?
Yeah.
Right? Like just watching them together, it's, I'm trying to think of who it's like watching, like the old videos of like Simon and Eagle and, that's literally watching those two play together is like.
Alden is a force on YouTube, and if you're not following Alden Harris on YouTube, do it. It is, to me, that is the best
100%.
the best disc golf content off the course that you can watch. It is such a blast. It's so fun. So I'm with you there. I think Discmania as well.
Plus, they need somebody.
You're right. They don't have any. They have players.
Yeah,
but they don't have any top tier elite players anymore, especially with Eagle leaving.
Let me rephrase how I said that. They need faces.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like, I mean, everybody knows who their players are, but it's Gannon.
Yeah.
Right?
For sure.
That was why it was my pick.
Yeah.
Plus Alden. Sorry. I know I keep leaving him out.
Gannon and Alden. I'm very interested to see where they're going to go. I think Discmania, if they don't make a move, where do they sit in the market? I mean, where do they sit as far as players go? Because us as players and fans, we want to see,
we want to see people we like.
We want to see people we like, yeah. And someone's got those two. Obviously.
Nowadays, it's about YouTube. It's about the Instagram. It's about Facebook. Whatever. I see Gannon all the time in random Facebook groups that I'm in.
Sure.
Like burner names. Everybody knows who he is because of the stuff that he talks about.
Yeah.
But it's Gannon.
Yeah.
And people want those kind of people.
Yeah.
We want to watch them. We want to watch the video. I don't know.
They are they're doing really good for themselves, and he is the ultimate troll. His video when he said he was leaving Prodigy.
Like him, I don't know. He's been trolling since he announced that he's leaving Prodigy
last year.
Well,
this time.
Yeah,
okay.
this time.
This current time. Okay.
This time. I don't know. His Instagram is hilarious right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah.
But there's
all kinds
10
of
different
stuff
companies.
Yeah.
And his announcement video, he named every major company in that.
Every slogan, yes. It was the bomb. I kudos to him. I wish I had the gall and the gumption and the ingenuity to to put something like that. He like I said, he's been trolling. He's absolutely
and I love it.
Yeah, it's good. That's awesome. Last year when he left Prodigy or tried to leave Prodigy before he got sued by Prodigy, it was so serious. The video was so serious. I appreciate Prodigy, and he did the normal way to leave. But this past year, he's like, I'm not in Prodigy. I want to be a champion in disc golf. I want to be an innovator, and I want to I'm a world leader in disc golf. In disc sports.
I want to be good now. Is kind of what he said. And I know that's terrible, but he's just
he didn't use Prodigy's slogan. That's
no,
for sure.
He did not.
He didn't do that. Okay. Did you see speaking of Gannon? Did you see his Lego tower?
Yes, because and the reason I saw it is because somebody posted a video or a picture photoshopped in the MVP fan group on Facebook with a bunch of gyro boxes stacked up where the tower was.
I saw it. Yeah. I think I saw in his video with Brian Earhart where he was doing catch with Brian. He said that he spent $400 at World Market on Legos.
Oh yeah, he's always posting about his Lego set. My 8-year-old loves Gannon Burr. Doesn't care about disc golf at all, but loves his Lego stuff.
Yeah.
That
Stark Tower is sick though. I'd like to see it in person.
Yeah.
I'd like to see it in person. Okay, and now the whale that everyone is trying to figure out where he's going, and I think whoever has signed him is doing a fantastic job of kind of keeping it under wraps and for a big reveal, because I know out of all of the conspiracy theories, I have heard none with real validity. So where's Eagle going? Eagle McMahon.
I'm gonna go with everybody else and go Streamline.
It would blow my mind if he went to Streamline. Why do you think?
I did not think Streamline at first.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, Instagram.
Yeah.
Right. Streamline.
Something's happening there.
Yeah, something's happened. Something's going on.
Yeah.
MVP deleted all their pictures.
Yeah.
And only has 6 pictures
Paul,
up right now.
Paul Kranz, Salonen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and they're about to announce. Everybody says like, oh, they're going to announce something about the Envy, blah blah blah, because it's it's coming up on whatever anniversary.
Yeah.
But I mean, dude, it's got to be Eagle.
Man, like
They have the money.
It's blowing my mind with the idea that it could possibly even be Eagle, because like have Simon, right? They don't really need anyone else to push disc. They have James, and he's locally anyway. He's not necessarily pushing disc, but people are still buying his stuff.
Yeah.
And then you got Sarah Hokum. People are still buying her stuff, and she's throwing the trace. That's
fun to watch.
Streamline. Yeah, absolutely. She's got the maybe not for you because you don't like forehands.
Okay, I said she's still fun to watch.
So you've got Streamline, who, I mean, in my opinion, MVP has made it like clear throughout the years they do not care about Streamline. Like they don't want any of their pros throwing it.
That's why they're doing it.
I get it, but
they're like, oh, people actually buy Streamline now.
Now's our chance.
So let's
to push our cheaper, easier to make disc. They've made, because I think I'm pretty sure I saw an interview saying that non-gyro disc are much easier to make, and so their disc that they don't put as much effort in, don't care about as much, they're gonna sign like the biggest player signing since Simon.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Honestly, because they're not hurting for money, like we said,
yeah.
Right? They had some of the biggest sales last year. They have the money to sign him. They have another, line of discs that, like you said, they don't sell very well.
Yeah.
But they don't really care about them.
Yeah.
So why not get somebody that can sell them?
I think that he's going to a brand that is like not as big time as we think. Like I don't think that he's going to a major brand just because the video, the video when he announced his departure from Discmania, he kind of talked about how when he first joined with Discmania, it was kind of like it seemed like he was saying kind of on the radar thing. He went with his gut and he's got the opportunity to do the same thing. And so I guess Streamline would make sense. But I can't really think of any other place that would be like a startup that could afford him, except for this one. And I think people think I'm crazy for saying it, and it may be a little crazy, but I'm thinking Lone Star. I really am thinking Lone Star. Lone Star has to do something to repair their image that they put out this year. They've signed every human and their dog this past year, and they let go of half their pros.
I mean, they have the money to throw at him. Let's
oil
be honest.
money.
They're like, here. They're like bringing in briefcases. They're like, please sign with us.
Imagine. And then they got Nico and Eagle, the bad boys of disc golf.
I mean, I'm going to straight up say I do not see that at all.
Man, just imagine Nico and Eagle, the bad boys. They're the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys of disc golf. Man, like, because Eagle said something in his video about how, like, having his emotions get the best of him sometimes. And so that would Nico's
Who
right
else
in there.
lets them
Nico.
Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, I could see that.
No, you couldn't. No one can. But I want to see it happen.
You know what's funny, though,
bad
is
boys
like
of disc golf.
You picked the one with a lot of money,
Yeah.
and like nobody really. I mean, people like them.
Yeah,
people do like them.
Yes, we got locals.
Some
that are
people
diehard.
that don't like them as much anymore because of their business model and all that.
Yeah,
I was originally going to pick somebody with like not a whole lot of money. Thought Space was my original thought.
Yeah,
because it would fit Eagles, just his whole persona. I
Yeah.
feel like that team would, or I mean, that manufacturer would fit him really well.
Yeah,
But that was kind of my. I don't really think they could. I don't think they could pull that off.
Yeah, I don't think they could either. And look, I think they've done amazing this offseason. But yeah, I don't see them pulling it off. But I could see Lone Star
put
doing
a little
it.
asterisk next to.
I'm just saying, if you throw enough money, like Eagle is looking, because if I'm Eagle, this is what I'm thinking. I'm getting $1 million deal this offseason. Someone's got to give me $1 million deal because Paul got one, Ricky got one, Simon got one. I'm a crush boy. Somebody's got to give me $1 million deal.
I'm still sticking with MVP.
You think
I'm
MVP
just
can?
saying.
You think MVP can afford to give him $1 million deal?
They made the money off the time lapse, and they're going to give it to.
Listen, man.
They're going to give Simon's money to
Yeah.
Eagle so that he can come over and sell Streamline discs.
Dude, and personally, like that would be crazy. I really don't. I love Streamline Disc. That was my like introduction into MVP, and it would be awesome if Eagle is pushing Streamline Disc, but I just don't see it. I really think it's Lone Star. And the more I even think about it, it's Lone Star. No one else can see it, but the more I think about it, because
There's another reason that I want it to be Streamline, and nobody listening to this knows about it. But you kind of made a bet with some of us
I did,
about if he goes to
did make a
Streamline
bet.
discs.
I did. I love Streamline, so it wouldn't like hurt my feelings too bad. I'd have to go back to the pilot for a year, but I did make a bet with like all our locals and like and our sponsored players saying, if Eagle goes to Streamline, I have to switch my bag to Streamline this year, and I don't think that it'll be a terrible thing.
Well, especially if Eagle's going to be
Yeah,
helping them out.
But Streamline doesn't have where it would hurt me is Streamline doesn't have that like. Correct me if I'm wrong. They don't have the like distance like destroyer,
Like the big,
destroyer driver. So I would have to learn how to work around
Go
traces.
back down to a trace.
I'm gonna have to just figure them out.
You could do it.
I think I could throw a trace
you could
pretty
throw a
far.
trace probably further. Let's see it.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I'm throwing Graces right now, and it's it's in the same spot. So
Don't even get me started.
on the Grace, yeah. So Lone Star for me. Next week, hopefully, we'll find out.
I'm hoping it's tomorrow.
That would be great, and that way,
As of
when the
this
podcast
recording.
comes out, they'll be like, "Man, he was right. He waited for the announcement. I got to put this up tonight just to make it."
Not gonna happen.
All right, Lone Star it is. Okay, which company to you, excluding MVP because we've talked about it, is having the best? Okay, you can say MVP if you want to. I'll let you talk first. Is having the best off season. Not excluding their season, the best off season.
I still want to go with MVP
Why? What have they done in their off
because
season?
of. I mean,
Have
the
they-
gyro boxes. They're talking up the new discs with the Simon line. They've got everything
Yeah.
coming on.
I can see that.
They've got something big coming up.
Yeah, true.
Whether it's Eagle or not,
they've
they've
got
got
us all-
something, a really big announcement coming up.
Yeah.
Because those pictures that they're putting out every day.
Yeah, they've got us all waiting
And
with
it's-
bated breath.
I don't know. It could be a little biased too,
Yeah.
because like I said, I'm super MVP nut, but
Yeah,
at the same time, I feel like they're the one everybody's talking about more.
yeah. I'm with you there. I think if they're not number one, they're number two. I think Thought Space and Infinite are having a sneaky good off season. They're not doing anything splashy or flashy, but they're having a sneaky good off season. They signed Lucky Lawrenson.
Okay.
It was a really awesome FPO player coming off of Prodigy. She won, I think, last year, or at least she got podium enough. So I think that's a big deal. I've got a list of who they signed because I just thought it was awesome.
They signed one of my favorite YouTubers.
They signed Chandler Fry. That's what I was thinking of earlier when I said Chandler Kramer. They signed Chandler Fry. I love Chandler Fry. I think he's awesome. They signed Allie Smith, big name that's kind of just like popped up out of nowhere. They signed some good players, some solid players, and their team was already pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had James Proctor. He was already. I mean, he stayed with them. Right, you got to think of people staying when you think of off seasons too. You got who else? Maria Oliva. I mean, they're just. I just really feel like they've put a really solid off season together, a sneaky under the radar off season, and they haven't done anything to piss anyone off. So
that's the main thing, right?
Yes.
They haven't made anybody mad that we know of.
Yeah, true.
So I could see that. I would agree with that also.
Okay.
Like if I wasn't allowed to say MVP, I would totally go with that one.
Sure. Okay. So we're at the beginning of 2024. We're taking a look back at the last year. Lots of interesting discs came out. We've got all kinds of discs that came out, especially some novelty discs, some good discs. MVP Detour, Lone Star came out with a bunch of stuff, a boatload of stuff again. The Axiom put out the Tempo. We had the Bunker Buster from Doomsday. Yikun just came into the game with the Fusang and the Jin Wu and the Shigong and the Ho Yi. There's
You really like saying those names.
I like this. Yes, I like them. They came out with a lot of good things. So there's a lot of disc, some good, some crazy, some bad. What are your What are your picks for the top disc, the best disc releases? Maybe pick 3.
Okay.
The best disc releases this last year.
So since I started playing in February,
Yeah.
I kind of went to the end of the year because
Yeah.
that's really when I started paying attention to stuff.
Sure.
So my top one, time lapse, MVP guy.
Okay. Number
plus
1.
it just sold like crazy.
Okay.
Like, that's
if you go by sales, for sure, that one
Yeah.
was like out there.
I think it was a good release. Everybody wanted one. Like everybody's like, oh, I want Simon's new disc.
For
Like,
sure.
This is cool. Plus MVP didn't have a destroyer. And
Yeah,
it's not
the
a
12 speed
destroyer.
is out now.
It is not a destroyer.
In my opinion, it is, but we agree to disagree.
Some of them are.
Okay.
All right. And then the other one is the Cicada.
Yeah. Sneaky good release.
Yeah.
They-
It was I had no idea about this disc.
Yeah,
And I think it was actually you. You were like, you need to throw one of those.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay.
for sure.
And somebody had one that I was playing with one day. I was like, Philip told me I should throw this. And I was like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like this disc is so good.
Sneaky good release.
And then for funsies, the Rolo.
The Rolo. The Rolo.
I cannot turn over a disc. I do not have the arm power. The Rolo, I can toss it out there and it just goes whoop and starts going. So
Yeah, it definitely rolls. Yeah, I had one of your best 3 as one that came out this past year. I think the Cicada was one of the best that came out this past year for sure. I'm not going with the time lapse. I'm going with the Tempo. The Tempo was a good disc. And is that under your is that in your bottom?
That was in
3?
That wasn't my bottom 3, but it
Yeah.
was a disappointing disc because I went and played the circuit challenge and I was like, oh, this Tempo, it's going to be a zone. It is not a zone.
Right. It's not a zone.
But that's what I thought it was going to be, and
Yeah.
I think that's why I was disappointed.
Okay.
By it, right?
Shallow zone. I
Yeah.
think I don't bag one of these, but throwing it, and this is just gonna be random. Clash Disc Cinnamon is a really good disc. It's a very smooth, wraithy type disc. And if you like throwing a wraith, you will like the Cinnamon, and it feels good. At least their last few runs have felt good because I am under the impression. It may not be true, but I'm under the impression that Clash disc is made by Castoplast, and because their plastic just feels so good and very similar to Castoplast. So I'm gonna go with the Cinnamon as my third in my top 3.
I feel like that's
disc.
an underrated company too, though.
It is.
Like you hear about it, but not a lot of people talk about. Oh yeah, I love Clash discs, right?
For sure. We try. I bagged like as many Clash discs as I could when they first came out, and I did enjoy them. I actually really liked them. Specifically, the Popcorn's such a good disc, but they kind of suffer from the same thing that Discmania does, where their plastic's a little bit more expensive here, and so people go, well, why would I buy that when I could buy this Innova disc over here that's the same numbers?
Yeah.
But listen, their plastic, at least the last few runs, has been beautiful, and that there's Wild Honey where they did the like cut-ins.
Oh, yeah. Those look sick.
amazing. They look
Who
a little
would've thought
silly sometimes,
overmolds
but they
look
look really cool.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I'm gonna go with the Cinnamon. All right. So what was your bottom 2 worst disc that you tried this year that were new?
The Alien.
The Alien.
I wanted to love this disc so bad. I bought 2 of them the night
Let's
you
go.
got them at the store.
Yeah.
Like I literally drove to your house and was like, hey, I need these.
I need an Alien.
And I went and threw it, and it didn't do the same thing anytime that I threw it. And yes, I'm a new player, but I know when my hand comes off a certain way, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I know what angle I'm throwing it at, that kind of stuff.
For sure.
Dude, it just didn't. Sometimes it would go, and then no wind. It would just drop out of the sky,
Just
and I'm like,
didn't
okay.
go.
Sometimes it would just go and not stop. And
Yeah.
I mean, I
couldn't-
never knew what it was going to do.
I'm with you. I hate to agree with you, but the Alien, I still every now and then I put it in my bag for funsies just to mess around with it. But it's like sometimes it depend. I guess it depended on the wind, how the wind hit the dimples or whatever. But whether it would just crash into the ground, obviously nose angle counts and all that stuff. But sometimes it would crash, sometimes it would glide. I never felt like I had any control over kind of how far I was throwing it. I would hit my lines, but I never felt like I had any real control over where it was going to stop when I threw it. Yeah, so I agree with you.
And the other worst one was Tempo.
The Tempo.
And it's only because I was disappointed in it. Now, I did
Punk.
throw one of my furthest throw-ins I've ever had, so it felt pretty good, but it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying, but you're wrong.
I'm okay with that.
It hasn't hit everyone's bag, and they haven't done a stock release yet. And I do think it's going to miss the mark for some people, because I think it flies like a lot like an Envy, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's what it's. That I think that's why I don't like it is because I bagged like 3 Envies.
Right, but I like the feel of the MVP does a good job of their disc being flat, and that's why I like to throw them. But this one even feels flatter to me. It's like an Envy, but it's flat, and it's thin.
I think why I don't like it as much
and the backhand
is because I think it's going to be more overstable than it is.
Yeah.
And it just keeps gliding and keeps going forward, and I'm just like,
why? It's overstable.
Yeah,
but it is overstable,
but not like
not a zone.
Not what it feels like to me.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm gonna say this. I am before I even start. I'm absolutely a Brody fan. One of my top. I love to watch him on YouTube. I watch all this stuff, and I think I really would like to see him get a podium finish or get a win this year. And I can see how this disc would be good for utility. But the Zone OS, for me...
Zonios.
The Zonios. I bag it sometimes when I go to courses that have a very specific line that I know is there. It's a good utility disc. It is a good utility disc. The tilt of putters, right? But I don't think for the everyday player that it's going to be useful. I think for the top level pros, when they got this overstable stuff, maybe this is just in my experience where we go out to the course and I see someone pull out a Zone OS. 9 times out of 10, it's not a good shot.
I was literally about to say one of my friends bags one.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen him throw like a good shot with it. He's like, I need this right here. And I'm like, and then he throws it and it's like, no, that was not what you wanted.
Yeah. 9 times out of 10, it's not a good shot. I mean, and that's even coming from me. And when I feel like I'm about to throw a good shot and I go out there with the Zone OS. Not that I'm saying that I'm super good. I'm just saying I want everyone out there to hear that I'm not just talking bad about you. I'm talking about myself as well. 9 times out of 10.
Let's be honest. Paul Macbeth said, "I don't know why anyone would want to bag one of those."
Yeah, I wasn't going to pull up the Paul. I wasn't going to talk about the Paul.
I know I shouldn't. But
no, you're good. I think they got some beef and stuff, but yeah, I mean, I tend to agree with him. And like I said, I've bagged it a couple times. We have a hole here that's 200 foot. You want your disc to go left pretty quickly and then crash right. And that Zone OS, you can chop it over and it'll do that. But I can do that with other disc as well, or I can just hit the line a little cleaner and not have to rely on the
I
Zone
will
OS.
say, for it being like the same feel as a Zone, you hear talk about people like, well, you want kind of the same mold because something that fits your hand really well.
Yeah.
I could see that some people would want that as like an overstable.
Yeah.
But that would be the only reason.
That's more than overstable. I mean, that's
yeah. Can I talk about an honorable mention real quick?
Sure.
That I haven't thrown, but I just looked it up.
Yeah.
The Juggernaut.
Yeah.
Why?
Not a fan?
Why?
What do you mean
I've
why?
watched videos on that thing. It is a Zone OS that is a driver.
It's not a tilt. It flies a little bit. I've thrown one.
Okay. I'm just
sometimes
from what
you
I've
need
seen,
that overstable skipper type shot.
It doesn't look like it skips. It looks like it just turns and tombstones.
Yeah.
But cool.
Sorry,
I'm glad you like it.
I don't like it, but I'm just saying it flies a little bit. Okay, what are your 3? We're wrapping up here. We got a couple more and then a game. 3 way too early predictions for 2024 tour, or just in disc golf in general.
Let's see. I don't think Kristen Tatar is going to win next year.
At all?
No, I mean she's going to win some.
I was about to
but
say,
I don't think she's
out.
I don't
out
think.
Of him.
No. I love. Let me say, I love Kristen Tatar.
No, you're good.
She's great.
Not going to win a single thing. That's crazy.
But I don't think she's going to do as well next year as she did this year.
She had a fantastic year.
This year was amazing.
I don't feel like that's a hot
take.
It is a hot take, but I get it. It'd be hard to hit that exactly.
Well,
I
I think really what's going to happen is the other
How many
FPO
wins
players.
did she have this past year?
I should have looked that up.
It's okay.
I feel like the other FPO players, it's going to be like, hey, I need to really step up my game next year, right? They're all going to have that drive to be like, okay. But then again, she's got the power to back it up.
I mean, she's really good.
Yeah, that's one. I
okay.
guess. I didn't know there were supposed to be hot takes.
No. I'm saying like that. I mean, it is a hot take. It's like way too early. They don't have to be hot takes. I'm just.
Okay.
What I'm saying is that's not as hot of a take as I thought it was when you first started talking.
Okay.
Kristen Tatar's not going to win at all next year. Let's make a bet on it.
Unless she ends up having a baby.
True.
Then she might not play. Then she might not play.
And then Lat 64 will definitely drop her.
I don't think they would.
Dude,
I think those guys are
I'm just saying, if Kristen Tatar gets pregnant and Lat 64, which is owned by House of Disc, doesn't do the same thing to her as they did to Macy, which they won't because she's literally the best player in the world.
There's going to be controversy.
There's going to be controversy.
Yeah, 100%.
So Kristen,
that's probably a hot take. She might have a baby. I'm just going to throw that out.
So she has kids. She has a kid. Okay. My way too early take is that Calvin will actually get a win this year.
That was
one of yours. You were thinking there, yeah. Man, the dude played so well.
I think he's going to go off next year. He's going to be ridiculous.
I mean, I don't think that.
That's my hot take.
Okay.
How's that?
I know that's good. That's good. The MPO field is so stacked. I feel like it would be hard for him to take a bunch of wins, but Isaac did pretty good last year at taking multiple Elite Series wins. Yeah, I think I give him one. I think I give him at least one, but I think he's going to get one win. And I think I'll take another hot take here. I think we'll have it's not a hot take. I think we'll have a new world champion next year. I don't think it'll be like a repeat of anyone that's ever been a world champion before. Because
I agree with you 100% on that one.
So just
the field is way too young now.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of these younger guys are like, coming from a 35-year-old.
Yeah.
A lot of these younger guys are like stepping up and being like, "Oh, I can be a pro now."
Yeah.
And like people are signing them. So
sure. I think it's possible. I'd love to see Simon win a Worlds. I'd love. There's some of my favorite players, but I'd love to see a new world champion. Alden, step your game up and be the world champion.
My boy.
Yeah. You got another one? Another way too early prediction?
I think Cole Redolin.
What?
Is going to step up and win a lot this coming year.
Okay.
Like he got a taste of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think
that.
he's going to I've seen some videos of him this offseason just playing with other, pros and YouTubers and the like. And I think he's going to step up this year and do really well.
Yeah. I'm good with that. I think I can see that. I think that we will see. This is another early prediction, and it's hard for look. If you watch this, you probably won't, but maybe you will. If you watch this till the end, Anthony Bodanza.
Oh my gosh!
I have a hard time following you because you talk really fast, and I get it. Like but I think I admire your I like you, and I admire your grind, and I think my last way too early season prediction is I think that at some point we'll see him on a leaderboard, maybe not for the whole tournament, but I think we'll see him pop up on a leaderboard once or twice this year on the Pro Tour because I know he's going to train with some pro players. And
100%. I think he's in Georgia right now.
Yeah.
Like training. And that was the YouTuber I was talking about with Infinite.
Yeah.
Like Infinite signed him. I've been watching his videos. He's trying to figure out how to fit, how to fit his bag. Mm-hmm. He's not going to change a whole lot.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, because he has an open bag.
Sure.
But I love watching his videos, Anthony. Love watching your videos.
I
have ADHD though, so I can follow you.
Yeah. Okay. Those are my season predictions. And last thing, let's do a quick game. Name 3 disc. We'll go back and forth. Name 3 disc. We'll put a composite of how they sold. We'll use Infinite's site. Did you look this up before? Okay, good.
No, I already know.
And then whoever has the least amount, like at number 1 will just be like 1 point, right? Or number 90 will be 90 points. Whoever has the least amount of points in our 3 wins. So, rock, paper, scissors for who goes first. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Okay. I won, so Brendon... actually, I'll go first. I think I have a distinct advantage in this game now that I think about it.
Yeah, you own a store.
And I sell these things. I'm going to go... I've been thinking about it, but I promise I didn't look anything up. I'm gonna go something from MVP. I'm gonna go glitch.
Okay.
I'm gonna go glitch as one of mine. All right, what you got?
You already know my first one.
What is it?
Time lapse.
100%. Oh,
everybody went nuts for
Simon's. Yeah. I'm telling you, the amount of people that walk in this store and go, "Do you got any glitches?" is kind of crazy.
Well, yeah. I mean, let's be honest though. Every one of us that have them are like, "Hey, you should buy a glitch because if you can't throw anything else, you can at least do something with this."
Throw a glitch. Okay. Are we gonna snake this so you can have another shot at it before I do it? Because we can't pick the same thing.
Sure.
Okay.
Does it have to be new disc?
No.
Okay.
Just top selling.
Yeah, glitch came out last. I'm gonna go with Watt since you said glitch.
The Watt. That's good.
Because it's a heavy glitch.
Yeah, it is.
It's a glitch you can use.
I feel like you just cheated, but whatever. I'm gonna say, it's hard. I'm trying to think of what people buy, and I'm gonna go with something from Innova. I'm gonna go. It's AVR or Destroyer. I'm gonna go AVR, and then what else are people really digging right now? I think. We're gonna digging. It's totally rad now.
It's so cool, man.
Let's go. Let's go. Envy. Let's go Envy.
Lots of MVP on here.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to go with the other Innova that you were going to choose because that was my third one, and I was really hoping you wouldn't pick it, but the Destroyer.
All right, well, let's look these things up right quick because I have not looked this up, and we'll wrap it when we'll be done. I think that I'm definitely going to win this thing.
Nope. I should have looked this up. That would have been nice.
Why didn't you?
I don't know. You gave me plenty of time.
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't cheat. Top selling.
Wait, disc. What are we using?
Golf disc. Infinites. Infinite usually has top
Why
selling.
are we using Infinite?
Well, let's use
because they sell everything.
Let's use good lines
because they sell everything.
Top selling disc last year. You ready?
Nope.
Oh, I know they have like a list. This is like just
type in top selling discs 2023 maybe. And just see what comes up. It should be Infinite. They're the biggest online retailer, right?
Best disc golf disc of 2023.
Sure, we'll try.
Yeah, it says top selling.
Oh, most sold. No, wait, never mind.
Top selling, overall best disc, top selling disc. I believe this is. Oh wait, view all the top selling disc pages here. Disc popularity from sales. Yeah, features a glimpse into the presence. Draw customer sales data on infinitedisc.com.
We could just see what's selling the most right now.
I thought that they got the best selling, top selling.
They have to have a list.
They do. These are just like the pages to where you can buy them. We're just gonna go here. We're gonna do this best disc golf disc and rock with that. To the first 8 months of the year. Yeah, using the data from our new website features is the best disc golf. Yeah, this is it. All right, number 1, MVP glitch, baby. What? So I got one. Let's see. What's next? Who picked? This can't be right. This has infinite disc stuff on here.
The Emperor.
Oh, how do we not pick
Destroyer's
Hex?
up there.
Destroyer.
Right there.
6. We might look up a different list, but
I think the first 8 months is not going to have the time lapse in there.
You're right. NV 9. If it's not on here, you get like 100. Do you see a Watt anywhere?
I do not.
Do you see an AVR 23? Let's see. Yeah, we're just gonna say that you lost.
Yep,
Charger's on this list though. That's pretty cool. I honestly didn't expect that. That
Number
disc
50.
is underrated.
The Aztec.
Hey, that's our boy Dylan's favorite disc. Anyway, welcome. Well, not welcome. Thank you for joining us for the first ever A Disc Golf podcast will be hosted on. You'll be able to see this on YouTube. You'll be able to see this on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and Google Podcast, which is eventually going to be YouTube Podcast. Anyway, thanks again for joining us. This is going to be a weekly thing, so we'll see you then.
Have a good one.
Come out in the night after eating our pizza. If you're doing crimes, then we better not see ya. 'Cause we will fight you up, and who you gonna tell? We're really, really sweet. Master Splinter taught you well.